I know. So before I start listing these passive activities that I think are awful, I'll start by defining what I mean to passive activity to be. So I define a passive activity as something that is dopamine draining. So you could say reading is passive, but I'd say unless it's like a romantasy novel, no offense to those, it's not really going to be dopamine draining in that afterwards you won't feel like you don't have any energy to go and do anything. So with that defined, let's go into number one, which is scrolling on your phone, or doing really anything on your phone, unless it's urgent. I just think this is the worst thing. The worst way to start your morning is to be scrolling Instagram or TikTok on your phone. I cannot think of a worse way to just waste an hour, leave yourself with completely zero energy, and it just destroys your day. Because firstly, you're just consuming content. And even if you're producing content first thing in the morning, I mean that's better. But ideally, you don't really want to be on your phone first thing in the morning because I don't know, just waking up and you have the world on this device, and just to know what's going on in the world, it's the first thing, feels a bit overwhelming and not really a great idea if you want to maintain any sort of peace of mind. And speaking of peace of mind, number two is watching TV. People wake up, they turn on the news, they get all the worst things that are happening in the world first thing in the morning. Is that really what you want? Does that not convince you that the world is just a terrible place where everyone is mean? And if that's how you start your day, that's how you go about your day. And that might not be true for all people, but I feel like if you start your day by watching the news, that's gotta have an effect on the rest of your day. And you just have no peace of mind. I mean, sports is another thing. I mean, most people, there isn't really sports first thing in the morning unless you wake up in America, in which case sometimes there is. In the UK, there's rarely any sports in the morning. It's always afternoon or evening, which I guess is a good thing, but let's say there is. It just feels passive. You're at the whims of something that you don't have any control over. And this is interesting to me because I was watching the World Cup recently, and I feel like for people who define their entire lives on being a football fan, let's say, oh, you're a Liverpool fan, and that's your entire life. Like, okay, that might be enjoyable if they're winning, but then you're so at the whims of something you have no control over. And if it goes badly, your day is ruined. I mean, this was literally me. I was a massive Chelsea fan, and when they lost, this was in like 2023, and they finished 12th, which was very bad for their typical performance. But every time they lost, I would let myself do nothing for the rest of the day. I'd sit there and play video games instead, which is the third thing that I think is a terrible way to start your day. I also used to do this. I used to wake up and literally first thing I'd turn on the Xbox and I'd go and play FIFA. I don't know if anyone's ever played FIFA Ultimate Team. There's like this Foot Champs thing. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't really know if it's still there. But it was like you have like these 20 games that you need to play, and based on how many you win determines the rewards you get. And I'd leave it all for one day. So the first thing I'd do, I'd wake up, I'd turn on the Xbox, I'd play Foot Champs from like 6 to 11. These games are long. And then the rest of my day would start at 11. But to be honest, it's not like I was doing much for the rest of the day anyway. So yeah, that's another terrible way to start your day. And the fourth one, which I think might come across as a bit surprising, and it's an opinion of mine, so please take it with a pinch of salt, but I think listening to a podcast might be not the greatest way to start your day, for a couple of reasons. Most podcasts I feel like are similar to watching TV, in that you're just part of the conversation. And you could productivize it and say, oh, but why can't I listen to Huberman or Modern Wisdom or any one of your self-help podcasts. And I listen to those a lot. I don't think there's anything bad with it. But first thing in the morning, is that really what Huberman would want you to do? Is that what... Because these guys are all obsessed with their morning routine. So if you end up watching a productive one, they're the ones who are probably telling you not to do that and to actually go outside, go on a walk, do something else with your morning. So, I mean, the podcast is similar to watching TV. But if you really have nothing else to do, well, then that's just productivizing it, isn't it? And maybe I just come at this from a massive productivity lens. I'm not saying you need to start your morning by doing 100 lists of your morning routine or whatever. Go out, get sunlight, go to the gym, and then spend 6 hours on your morning routine. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think these activities that I've listed are probably the worst ways to start your day. Let me know in the comments if you think of any more, but those are the ones that I can think of.